Hey guys, Sundown here. This is going to be my chapter review to Nanatsu no Taizai and the 7 Deadly Sins 275 Hearts as 1. Now, as you can tell by this kind of orange glow, I'm doing this at night and this is my kind of lighting system. It's just a lamp. But yeah, this chapter, going back to the chapter, it was a good chapter, albeit kind of predictable and therefore kind of that dampened down part of the chapter for me. But it was still good, and we start off where we left off. Garth asking to be destroyed and Mael seething with rage kind of internally, not showing it on the outside, kind of a little bit. And after Garth reveals it was him that did this to Mael, Mael seems to have understood his situation a lot more. He just looks at Garth and he's like, son of a... That's why it happened, you know, everything kind of slots into place and he's like, shit, Garth did this to me, and that's why he's kind of annoyed about it. Well, if anyone had done this to me, he would have been annoyed about it equally. So as King kind of protests Garth's decision to be killed off by Mael, Mael moves in to decimate, absolutely destroy Garth, and kneeing him and sending him flying into like this huge rocky wall with this kind of angel statue on top, this goddess statue on top. Looks really nice. And he continues to beat down on Garth, but pauses like in the middle of this destruction just to ask Garth why it had to be him. Why did he have to pick out Mael out of all of these guys, out of all of these goddesses who are considerably strong? Why did it have to be him who had to have his entire being robbed from him? So Garth's answer is simplistic. Meliodas' betrayal of the demon clan made the goddesses believe that they had a chance, or that the power had swayed, the kind of equilibrium of power had swayed and tipped in their favor. And they felt that they had more power than the demon clan, which started the Holy War. And I thought the Holy War had started prior to Meliodas and Elizabeth kind of eloping. But apparently that was just random bloodshed and it hadn't really been the actual war, and the Holy War started when Meliodas decided, yeah, I'm done, I'm going to dip with Elizabeth, and that started the war because the goddesses felt that they had the chance to, because of the scale of power kind of tipped in their favor. They were like, yep, this is the opportunity to get rid of the demon clan. Now, due to this tip in the balance of power, Garth chose someone from the goddesses equally as powerful, so this would be Mael, the strongest of the archangels, the four archangels, and had him change sides, restoring balance and forcing the goddesses to activate the coffin of eternal darkness. Now, obviously, Mael doesn't really give a shit about the reason or the reasons for this. He just wanted to know why. And at this point, he's beyond reason. He's just given into rage, and he's seething. He's just boiling with anger. So he just wants to get it all out and destroy Garth right now. Now, at this point, Mael tramples Garth's arm, and he actually breaks it, but he notices something, but I'll get back to that. So he then tells Garth that he wants him to feel a little bit of the pain that he's felt over these 3,000 years that he spent as Esteros, and it's at this point that he realizes that Garth is in fact not OG Garth, but a doll, and he can't feel any physical pain. He realizes that this Garth, this doll, can't feel any physical pain. So then obviously Q King rolling in to save Garth and knocking Mael away from our boy Garth. The first part of this chapter was predictable, and so was this. We knew that Mael was going to kick the shit out of Garth, and we knew that King was going to back up Garth because he's a sin and because he's a friend. So, and we knew King wasn't he's not the kind of guy just to watch Garth die, and he brings up one of the rules of the Taizai, one of the rules of the 7 Deadly Sins, which is to help another sin in need. So if another sin is in like a little bit of trouble or a big amount of trouble, then you gotta go help him. He's a sin, you help his ass. So King then fights Mael kind of on behalf of Garth, but really he's just fighting him because he's the actual main threat there. And he blocks his attack with Guardian, which surprises Mael, and then he attacks him with Bumblebee, and he's like, yeah, I got this. Only Mael ain't taking no shit from nobody, and he just lasers King in the shoulder, and I was like, ooh, I was like, damn, that's a little bit painful. So it sends him bouncing across the ground, almost like a pebble across water. And Garth pleads to just be destroyed. He's like, you know what, forget King, just destroy me, and we'd be good with that. Just kill me, and I'm the one that inflicted all this pain on you. And he wants to obviously spare King any further pain, but obviously this brings pleasure to Mael because he can't physically hurt Garth. Garth is a doll. He has no friggin' nerve endings in there. Somehow he's just a magical being. So he the only form of pain he can deliver to Garth is psychological and mental stress, which is what he's trying to do now by hurting King. So this is the kind of Mael's way to finally get some kind of revenge on Garth. But King isn't a pushover, and we've known this for a while. He goes into Chastiafol's first form, which is called Chastiafol, and he drops it straight on Maya. And I thought it looked dope. I was like, oh, what a beautiful attack! It looked so amazing. The spear in its full, huge, gigantic form, kind of like magic just flaming off of it. It looks awesome. And then we just see Miles holding up the attack with one arm, and I was like, ah, shit. Miles, he's too strong. He's really, really, really OP at this point. So this encounter between King, the Fairy King, which is King, and Mile kind of surprises both Sariel and Tarmiel, and they realize they have a decision to make. Who do they help? So Tarmiel wants to help his younger brother. He wants to help Mile against Gartha and King, but it seems that Sariel is the archangel who is better able to think logically in stressful situations, at least out of the two of them, Sariel and Tarmiel. So he's noticed that Mile has gained control over the commandments that he's ingested, but more frightening than that is the fact that the more of that power he invokes, the more the darkness is taking over his heart. And this is kind of, essentially he's becoming more and more demonic because he's invoking the power of darkness, and he's becoming what he hates again. He's becoming a demon once more, kind of, and he's not having. He doesn't seem to have learnt from the past. He just broke out of. He just became Mile again after being Esteros for 3,000 years, and he's still got the commandments in him. Even though I'm not sure if he can actually yank them out himself. I don't think he can expel them in any way. So they're stuck in him, but he's still invoking their power. So it's a little bit weird that Mile is continuing to do that, even though he's slowly being taken over by darkness once again. We even see actually the kind of like the visual symbolism of this is kind of, or the visual cue for this is we see his wings start to change color from white to black, making him look a lot more like the angel he's described as, the angel of death, a fallen angel. So Sariel then tells Tarmiel that they're going to have to save Mile as his brethren by helping the sins against him. So it's been decided they are going to join the sins. And I thought this was, although a good kind of twist, I thought that this was kind of predictable as well. I mentioned it in one of my previous reviews that the Archangel would have a decision to make, and it would depend on Mile and how far gone he is. So it seems that they've decided he's about to be too far gone, and they want to stop that, so they're going to side with the sins. Which I was like, yeah, that's cool, and they're like, I'm not really blasting Nakaba for being predictable. I'm just saying that the chapter itself wasn't really like an incredible read for myself, just because I felt this was the way it was going to go, and I think a lot of you might agree with that. So during the scene, we see Dedieri actually making her way towards Elizabeth, while Hawk follows the kind of same sentiment. He's there going to check Elizabeth. And then we go back to Gartha, who continues to beg King to stop and to let him die, so he doesn't have to see another precious being or precious person lost to him again, referring to King as like his friend. And King's guardian then bitch slaps Esteros, bitch slaps Mael back into the air, allowing King to tell Gartha that if he knows the pain of losing someone precious, he shouldn't go around looking for death, suggesting that, he himself, Gartha, is important as one of the 7 deadly sins, and that King doesn't want to lose him. So Gartha realizes this kind of mistake of kind of looking around for death, wanting to die, and he apologizes and stuff like that. And then we have Mile just egging on both of them to attack him. He's like, I'll take on both of you, I don't give a shit. So we see it prior to this, but 2 of Mile's wings are actually black now, while the other 2 remain white. So he's kind of in this 50-50. He's got 3 commandments within him, and he's actually lacking his grace at the moment, but he is still Mael, so he's in control. He's 50-50 almost, like the bread. He's half kind of taken over by the darkness of the demons, and he's half still angelic, goddess kind of pure white wings. So Sariel and Tarmiel then fly in, voicing their allegiance to the sins, which doesn't seem to shake Mael in the way that I thought it would. He doesn't seem to give a damn, or the slightest. He doesn't seem to be in the slightest amount of have the slightest amount of concern for their possible defection. Really, I mean, like, is it really defecting at this point? So this will be a good fight, but I feel this chapter was dampened down just because of its kind of slight predictability. And I knew King would fight, and I knew the Archangels would be forced to choose between Mile and the Sins. And like I told you before, I've already voiced this in my previous reviews. But it looks like even though Mile is in control, his soul seems to be losing the battle and heading towards demonic darkness, a major no-no for goddesses. So I really want to see what Sariel and Tarmiel can do. His brethren seem to really want to try and stop him, but what can they do besides trying to take out the commandments? And the only one who would have that knowledge would be maybe would emotional Meliodas, the kind of Meliodas from Purgatory, would he know how to do that? I'm not too sure. Maybe. Would Ban be able to snatch out the commandments? That's kind of a little bit of kind of a reach. Maybe a bit of an ass pull if he does manage to do that, but it might be a good way to move the story forward. I'm not too sure, but basically we're waiting on, because I don't think this team of King Galtha's already been knocked around quite a bit. I mean, his hand's just hanging off at the moment from the forearm, and Sariel and Tarmiel, they don't seem to be too impressive at this moment, unless they take Mile into that kind of God's realm. But then maybe Mile will do some crazy shit in God's realm and he'll be like, did you forget what I can do? So that would be awesome to see. Actually, I really hope we get to see that. Yeah, so I really think this team of King, Mile, Sariel, Tarmiel, King, Sariel, Tarmiel, and Galtha, they're going to get destroyed, or they'll put up a good fight and lose, and then we have Meliodas, Ban, and Wild pop up, and they're going to kick some major ass when they see Mile, especially when they see Elizabeth on the floor. I mean, Meliodas probably can't do much at this point, but Ban will go crazy. Ban will go apeshit. So I'd love to see that. So, and I actually want to see Ban do something majorly badass, especially take someone down as strong as Mile with 3 commandments in him at the moment, and just being as strong as Mile himself. So let me know what you guys thought of this chapter. Let me know what you guys thought of this review. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in a bit.